All right, I will call the meeting to order at 4:04. Roll call, please.
Okay, we have Trustee Baker,
Here.
Trustee Martinson,
Here.
Trustee Rios,
Here.
Trustee Segura,
Here.
Trustee Iverson,
Here.
Student Trustee Kawaja,
Here.
and I see that Trustee Baldini is absent. He's due in a little bit late. And Trustee Mancuso.
Here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we are going to go to 3.1, start the meeting out with a party. And it looks like we have a good group of people in the house to celebrate. So we are going to start with recognition of newly tenured faculty. And just real quickly, the list is Naomi Chianese and Maricel Ignacio, Senia Owens, Christine Pruitt, Gregory Scott Rose, and Dr. Mary Williams. Who is going to take it from here? Eric. Oh, Eric.
Okay. Yeah, this is always an amazing thing that we get to do here at the college, to honor the incredible service of faculty members as they transition from being an instructor to being a professor. So this is the big thing that changes for you at this period of time. And I'm extremely happy tonight to formally recognize and announce that the following faculty members have received tenure this year. So Greg Scott Rose from our EMS program, Emergency Medical Services and Technician. We have Ksenia Owens from Mathematics. Naomi Chianese from Sociology. Christine Pruitt from the English department. Dr. Mary Williams from Psychiatric Technician, who could not be here with us this evening. And and Maricel Ignacio, counseling faculty member. So at this point, what I'd like to do is go ahead and turn over the mic here to Amanda Badgett, to our Academic Senate President, who will say a little bit about each one of them, and then we'll invite deans and faculty members and colleagues to say a few words about these extraordinary faculty members that we have here in this room as well. And so, with that.
Good evening, Board. It's with great pleasure I get to address you tonight in my role as Academic Senate President to honor my newly tenured colleagues and their service to the Senate specifically. And I would just want to, and I'm not going to linger too long because there are various deans, I'm sure, who want to speak, but what I can say in general is looking down, I was busily doing some homework before to see what Senate committees these good people have served on, and not any of them slacking. Let's see, Maricel Ignacio as well as Scott Rose have been stalwart members of the Tech Committee, which sometimes may have felt less great than other times. I don't know. Maricel has also served the Senate on planning and on the Planning Committee, Planning and Budget. Christine Pruitt and Naomi Chianese, in addition to being in the classroom, they've also kept us faculty on task with assessment as our learning outcomes assessment coordinators. They share that role. And for a while, that was through our LOAC committee, and now they are kind of independent agents working on our behalf. And I want to say specifically, seeing them at workshops, putting the email out. I worked directly with Christine on the midterm report for our accreditation report. So I know how both of these women are incredibly dedicated to assessment, and we all thank them for that. I have worked also, I want to point out that in addition to Maricel on planning, Mary Williams served on planning for a number of years, and Ksenia as well. And Ksenia, in her role in mathematics, has helped the Senate at the time on our basic skills committee. So in any case, the Senate thanks all of you. In addition to these committee assignments, all of these individuals have served on hiring committees at the behest of the Senate, some of these individuals are still not forgiving me for some of that, but in any case, thank you all, and heartiest congratulations.
All right, so with that, I'd like to invite Bob Harris to come up to the microphone. And before he says something about Scott, I am going to break what I said. I'm going to say just a little bit here. So, so to me, I know he goes by Greg Scott Rose here at the college. He will always be Scott Rose to me. Our lives have been kind of circling each other for the past, I counted up yesterday, 35 years. Since we were 11 years old. So it's a real honor for me tonight to, yeah, you were 5, whatever. It's a real honor for me tonight to see you mark this milestone as a faculty member, and I'm tremendously proud of you, and it's a real pleasure to work with you. But with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dean Harris.
Thank you, Eric. So I had the pleasure the last 4 years of working with Scott and Mary Williams. When I took over the deanship, I was informed that, you're in the process of hiring 2 new people, and now you're chairing the committee, so go have at it. And I was like, okay, so anyway. But when Scott started, or at least when he was in the process of being hired for the tenure track position, known as called Scott, and then I'd send off an email, and for those of you who may remember Scott Rose in biology, who only retired a year or 2 ago, I'd get back a little terse note that said, you're looking at somebody else's, not blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. So now I started calling Scott Greg by his given name, and then somehow in the office, I don't know how, his name is morphed to Scooter. Professionally, it's still G. Scott Rose, but when I call him Greg, he sort of goes, I'm going to the dean's office. But if it's Scooter, we're going to talk about something that will be congenial. But anyway, Scott as a paramedic we have 5 groups in our area, and every distinct faculty group has a different personality. And most of the paramedics we have are type A, go out and do everything like we say, they scoop them up and the nurses take care of them later. But Scott fits the bill, and he is one of those folks. He works very hard. I don't know if most people know it, but the paramedic program, if you get a 79%, you failed. 80% is what it takes to bare minimum passing, so which is good for all of us. But Scott has a way he works very hard, his staff works very hard, and the students, they work equally hard. But I don't get a whole lot of complaints from students because they know exactly what's expected of them. They know where they need to be. They know how they need to be, and there's a lot of no nonsense that goes on there. So Scott is fabulous in what he does. I'm very happy and pleased and proud of him that he's earned tenure, and it's been wonderful for 4 years to work with him, and look forward to many more. Scooter. And then just briefly for Dr. Mary Williams, she was the other person they said, you're going to hire somebody. And so Mary went through the process. And every year, Mary receives the highest marks from her students for the concern, the care, and the effort she puts in for them. Like any instructor, any professor, she gets very, very frustrated when she sees in the students that they're not performing what they could be. And she takes that very, very hard, and we have long discussions and heartfelt discussions about lots of different things. But I feel very blessed in my division to have 2 new tenured professors, Mary and Scott. They do wonderful work, and they represent the college very well. So very pleased to have you, Scott. Congratulations.
All right, Bob, why don't you come on up?
I have 2 faculty member colleagues who are here
in recognition of receiving tenure. The principal purpose of tenure, of course, is for the preservation of academic freedom. It has legal consequences, but it is also an important landmark because it is bestowed by a board upon the recommendation of the faculty and the administration, and it is a landmark in a person's professional career. And I am delighted to introduce you to two of my colleagues who have achieved this recognition with great cause. Professor Naomi Chianese, who is here, took me to San Quentin. And she arranged that I would get out. For which I and my family are very grateful. We took a field trip with sociology and criminology students to San Quentin Prison, and it was really a fascinating experience, and it's because of her professional background and her commitment to her students and looking for those kinds of unique opportunities that has really helped build the sociology program and the associate's degree in sociology, and she has developed a following. I've had the opportunity to be a guest speaker in a couple of her classes. They always have a great rapport with her in the classroom because of her dedication. And so I want to congratulate her on an accomplishment well deserved. Congratulations, Naomi. Also with us today is Professor Ksenia Owens in the mathematics department. She didn't take me to San Quentin. We talked today about the Math Success Center being viewed as math jail, but that's not true either. Ksenia, among her many responsibilities, is the faculty coordinator of the Math Success Center. And as you'll hear in a little bit, with all of the requirements that are imposed upon us by the state legislature and trying to move students through to transfer level math as soon as possible, the Math Success Center has been and will continue to be even more so integral to the success of our students in mathematics. Her role is as the connection between the student tutors, the instructional assistants, the folks who help our students in their math courses, and connecting that with what's happening in the classroom with her faculty colleagues. And that is a very vital role, and as you'll soon learn, is even more important in the future. I am delighted to work with her every day as a colleague in math. She has a sunny disposition. She always has an encouraging word. She always has a line of students out her door to come visit her, and she teaches the full range of math classes from the very lowest to the very highest level classes that I have no idea what she's talking about in those classes. But she does it always with a smile and always with great zest and enthusiasm. And again, congratulations, Professor Owens. Do any of my colleagues want to come up and say a word or two? They're being shy. They're never this shy. It's not that bad. Well, know that they are here in recognition of their colleagues and in support of them because they know how important this landmark of the award of tenure is. It is a big deal, as they say. And again, congratulations to both.
Maria. Dean Villagomez will come up and join us.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're also here to join in celebration for a very esteemed colleague of ours, Christine Pruitt. And we all know that all of the faculty that we hire, because we have excellent hiring guidelines and processes and procedures, we hire the very best. And so that goes without saying. But one of the things that really stood out to me when I first met Christy was when she quickly corrected me when I said Christy Paella, and she said, "No, Maria, it's not Christy Paella, it's Christy Palela at the time. She's now Pruitt." But one thing that I learned from that interaction was that she likes to get things right. And she is that faculty member who will not stop until she gets things right for her students in her classroom, for her department, for the entire campus and beyond. She's also that faculty member who will volunteer for everything and will create projects and tasks and then volunteer for that as well. She is that faculty member that is dedicated not only to her students in her class, but all students. I had the privilege and honor of, when I was division chair of language arts at the time, to observe Christy in her class. And I was blown away. I was also privileged and honored to be part of her hiring committee. And so I've learned so much from you, Christy, and I applaud you for not only have you managed somehow to be an excellent new mom, as we all know, but you've gotten married in the last couple of years, and you've managed to maintain the same level of energy and enthusiasm and motivation and discipline here at work with your students and beyond. Christy, a couple of years ago, took on, along with Professor Chinese, one of the most difficult roles on campus that any faculty member would ever consider, and that was coordinating student learning outcomes. She took on that role without much persuasion, and she succeeded so much, so well with regards to that assignment. And we all know it. We probably don't say it as frequently as we should, but we were all very grateful that someone like you, of your caliber, was leading this such important task for the college, always, but especially at that time. And I'm so proud of you, and she's thoughtful, she's considerate. A couple of weeks ago, Christy showed up in my office, and I said, "What's going on? What can I do for you?" And she says, "Nothing. I'm just here to hand you a thank you card." She was thinking about me and in my new role, and I thought that was so thoughtful of you, and I will never forget that. And we are so lucky to have you. Yes, you're lucky to have us, but not as lucky as we are to have you. And thank you for everything you give to all of us, and to especially the students. Congratulations, Professor Pruitt.
And Howard, would you like to come up and join us?
Good evening, Board of Trustees members and its distinguished guests. On behalf of Dean Patty Morgan, who hopefully will be able to make it, I want to send our heartiest congratulations to our newest professor of counseling, Maricel Ignacio. What I have with me is her colleagues that work with her that can speak directly to all the wonderful things that she has contributed to the institution and to their department. But once again, on behalf of Dean Patricia Morgan, and actually our boss, Oscar De Haro, we send, and the counseling division who's in the house, whoop, whoop. All right. We send our heartiest congratulations to you. So I'll allow them to say a few words.
So I get to go first, and it's beyond an honor for me to be able to come up here and to speak on behalf of Professor Maricel Ignacio. Earlier today, I said, "Professor," and she looked at me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, really?" I said, "Yes, absolutely." And I've had the privilege of working closely with Maricel. I've been able to co-teach with her our summer bridge program for the EOPS program for a couple different years. And each time I learned so much from her. You know, she calls me mentor, but I feel that you've mentored me in so many different ways as well. So it goes both ways. And she is such a detailed-oriented person. Thank God she is in our department because she keeps us on track as far as how to really engage our students as far as what they need, our paperwork. She knows financial aid so well. And she's such a huge resource for us. But more importantly, her passion is to help students, to help the students who need the most, perhaps because of society's issues. They haven't received the support, but she's there to help them. She puts students first and really lifts them up. So it's an honor to be up here. It's a privilege to be up here and to congratulate Professor Marisol Ignacio.
Hello, everyone. I actually wasn't prepared to come and talk to you, but but there's nothing to prepare because you are an amazing coworker. When I came back on board, you were now part of the EOPS program, and you do, like Alex mentioned, you do an amazing job for all of our students. You have so many roles, and you still put 150% in there. You I don't know how you do it. I don't think I'm the best person to speak on behalf of the students, but if we can bring all of the students, we always have a celebration at the end of the year, and we have an open mic so that their students have the time to thank their counselors, and every time they all speak on how grateful they are that they have Marisol as a counselor, or even they're not assigned to Marisol. They still, if they work with her at least one session, they're still amazed of how amazing person and care she is. So thank you so much for everything that you teach me every day as well. It's a privilege to work with you, and I always learn everything. And Alex also, right, she knows everything from financial aid to veterans to everything. I can ask her and she will always be there. And so thank you so much for helping our students and being an amazing person. Thank you.
I have a little different perspective of Marisol. I'm the secretary in the department, so I see what's really going on. And I just want to let you know that for Marisol, she is one of the most incredible people I have ever seen. You know how small things, how really strong things come in small packages? She is a powerhouse in our department. She handles their students so well. She is such a great representation of what the EOPS program is all about. And she's now a professor. I guess I'll have to come in and just give her props. I can't be calling her my little nicknames and all that stuff. But she's that kind of person, too. She's real. I know our students love her. We all love her and the input that she brings. It is incredible. And I'm so honored to have met you, Marisol, for you to have come into my life. You have affected me personally as well. Congratulations, and I got a new name for you now.
Hi, I'm Patty Morgan. I'm the Dean of Financial Aid, EOPS, Veterans of Pre-College TRIO program, and I am honored to be here to honor Marisol. She has been with us for many years, and I have watched her come up and through the ranks and grow as a person, as a professional. She loves our students dearly. She puts her heart and soul into student success and helping students through whatever they need to succeed. And so, Marisol, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being so warm-hearted and sincere and taking our students to heart. And you deserve this honor, and I thank you again.
Eric, could I add a little something about Marisol?
Absolutely, Marion.
So I just want to say something about Marisol as well. I just think that she, other than the fact that she's this light bulb on campus, right? Everywhere you go, she's got a big smile and, always there to give a warm greeting, but she is literally everywhere. Every event I've ever attended, everywhere I go, Maricel is there. If it's Puente, if it's something for veterans, she's involved in everything. And I just want to say thank you so much for all that you give.
So for all of you here this evening, I just want to take another moment to congratulate each and every one of you. This is significant. This is a really big deal. Achieving tenure is an important milestone in your career in academia. I'm proud to call each and every one of you my colleague, and I'm really proud to call each and every one of you professor. If everybody could please join me in congratulating them. Thank you. Thank you. Now we can eat cake. Those of you who have received tenure, please come join me. We're going to take photos. Yes. The rest of you can eat cake.
We're still in 3, even though we're 5 minutes. Sure.
You don't want the light behind us?
or the trays of food.
Public comment.
Where do you
iPhone with the light.
Board, we'll take a 5-minute break to eat cake with the rest of the group, and then we'll come back to talk about closed session.
You're not, you didn't get it.